Let's face it, nobody makes the right decisions every single time. We are all human. We make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. What is up, my winning friend? My name is Zach, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to share with you how to make better decisions, and we're getting started right now. Now, some of us even make worse decisions than others growing up, at least. I know I sure did. I made some very poor decisions growing up that led me to places that I didn't want to go. So as a kid, I always wanted to be accepted by other people. I guess that stems from my father passing away when I was 7. And I was looking up to the wrong people as role models, wanting to fit in with the wrong crowd, and I just wanted to be accepted and loved by everyone, which is not always healthy, because not everybody's going to like you. No matter what you do, there are going to be people that do not like you. So this led to years of pain and frustration and stress, because I would always try to be accepted by everyone and I would fail, and I guess it led me to depression, you know, feeling just, I don't know how to really explain it, but I just was in a bad place in my life, and that led to me using drugs and alcohol, which that led to me eventually going to prison for over 5 years of my life. And I just felt, you know, these decisions that I was making were sabotaging my life, and I felt hopeless. I felt like that I couldn't do anything about my current situation to better it, you know, and that was a total wrong mindset that I had at the time. And it wasn't until I learned how to make better decisions and what I'm about to share with you, it wasn't until then that my entire life transformed. Speaking of decisions, I decided to turn this camera around and face this side of my office for the Win with Zach, the whole setup now. Of course, it's got the Win with Zach logo showing in the background. What do you guys think about the new setup for the new year? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have decided that you are not going to live with the pain of making these poor decisions over and over and over again in your life, you're ready to take action now, be sure to head on over and grab my free copy of the Goal Getter cheat sheet. You can do so right here. Now, the first thing you want to do when making these decisions to make better decisions, first decide who you're going to be, how you're going to live the rest of your life. And if you don't decide to do that, well, you still made a decision, haven't you? You've decided to not control your life, to be in command of your life. You've decided to just go with the flow and be controlled by circumstances instead of owning your own life. So decide who is it that you want to be, and how do you want to live the rest of your life. You know, people think that change is a long and painful process, but it's not, and it doesn't take long. Change happens instantly. Alright, what takes a while sometimes is the decision to change. You might be on the fence of, you know, I should do this, or I'll keep putting it off, or I'll do it when the new year comes around, or, you know, the next month, whatever that may be. But really, once we decide to actually do it, to take action, change happens right away. See, I spent years of my life using hardcore drugs like crack and heroin, and spending years of my life in prison, and all that changed instantly once I decided to change. Once I decided that I've had enough, that I linked so much pain to my old ways and that lifestyle, and that I linked so much pleasure to changing right now, everything changed instantly. So not only do you got to decide what kind of results that you're committed to making here, but you also got to decide what kind of person are you committed to becoming. You got to set the baseline standards of who you are and what you're about, and then always raise your standards and always be growing and raising your standards to becoming more. Now, there are 3 decisions that you have to control and be conscious of, and if you do not control these 3 decisions, they will control you. And those 3 decisions are: 1, decisions about what you focus on. Alright, what is it that you pay attention to? The second one is decisions on what that means to you. Whatever you pay attention to, what does it mean to you? A lot of people say, because of this happened in my life, this is the reason why, because it shaped my life. But that's BS, alright? That's, in my opinion, it's complete BS. It's not about what happens, what events happen to you in life. It's about how you interpret these events and what they mean to you. You know, there's a Tony Robbins gives this example in his book, Awaken the Giant Within. I'll link it up in the description below if you want to check it out. But he talks about how there's two boys that were raised in the same household. They were twins, and their father was an alcoholic and a drug addict and treated them like crap. And one brother followed in his father's footsteps and went to prison and all that good stuff, and was just never amounted to anything. And the other brother was super successful, ambitious, happy, had a great family, a great father, responsible civilian. And later on, the person, a doctor or someone that was doing a study or something, came back and asked both the brothers separately. They didn't know that this test was being done. How did you end up where you are now in life? And both of them said, how could I with a father like that? So how could two boys that were raised in the same home with the same father under the same circumstances lead completely separate lives? It's all about, the reason why is about what that event meant to them. One of them took it as a victim role, like, oh, why me, and made excuses and went through his life away. And the other one took that event and said, I'm going to rise above and I'm going to make something of myself. And the third decision that you absolutely must control is decisions on what you do to create the results that you want in your life. It's up to you to create what kind of life that you want. That may sound cliche. You know, you got a lot of people preaching like, oh, life is what you make it, but it is. It's really what you make it. Like, how could a guy like me go from being a complete, strung out, crack-headed heroin addict, spending 5 years of my life in prison, just completely throwing my life away, go from that and completely turn around, become a responsible father and a successful entrepreneur, and dedicating the rest of my life to empowering people to completely dominate their lives? Because life is what you make it. It's all about the decisions on what it was all about the decision on what I decided to do to create the results that I wanted in my life. I didn't have it easy. It wasn't easy to make that turnaround, but I decided that it didn't matter. I was certain that I was going to turn it around and I was going to do whatever to do it. Another great tip to make better decisions is to plan ahead. Tony Robbins gives another great example in his book where he talks about people going through life that don't never decide what they truly want, what they truly want to become, and where they want to go. And so they're just going down the river with everybody else, the mass of people, influenced by other people's opinions and decisions, and they don't ever really have control of their life because they're just going with the flow. And before they know it, they're 5-10 feet away from Niagara Falls in a boat with no oars. You know, most of the time, the decision, where anything that's bad that's happened in your life, most of the time, it could have been avoided by making better decisions upstream. So if you start deciding where it is that you want to go and how you want your life to pan out, and you start acting in accordance to make those things happen, later on down the river you won't find yourself getting ready to run headfirst into Niagara Falls with no oars. The last thing that I want to touch up on before we go ahead and wrap this up on how to make better decisions is conditioning. Now, we kind of talked about this earlier, but I want to dive a little bit deeper because it is important. Yes, conditioning matters. Everything that we do, every single thing that happens in our lives and that we do is conditioning us. We are constantly conditioning other people when we talk to them, if we're nice to them, if we're mean to them, how we treat our kids, how we were treated as kids, the things that we learn in school, the things that we watch on TV, the books that we read. Every single thing is conditioning us, and it shapes your destiny. The good news is that you can decide to override your conditioning at any single moment. And when you do this, you recondition yourself. So if you spent a majority of your life eating horrible food, junk food, fast food, and not exercising, and you're just out of shape and unhealthy, you can decide at any moment to override these conditions, because this has become a habitual pattern. You've learned to link pleasure to eating this way and not working out. You can decide to override this at any moment and begin to eat healthy and begin to exercise. And by doing that, you are reconditioning yourself in a great way. You're overriding the old disempowering pattern in your life, and you're implementing a new empowering pattern into your life. And the more you do it, the stronger it gets. It's kind of like a strand, like a piano strand. To make the piano spit out a wonderful melody, you have to take those strings and tighten them. And those strings are super tight, so you just do it once and it's going to loosen up. You have to come back and tighten that string over and over again. You have to condition it to stay that way multiple times until it will stay that way on its own. Just like yourself, you have to condition these new patterns into you, recondition these patterns, get rid of limiting behaviors, limiting beliefs, and limiting patterns in your life, and replace them with empowering ones. If you enjoyed that video and you want to watch more videos that are going to empower you to make better decisions, then make sure you check out this playlist right there. And if you know anyone, I mean anybody, that you seem to think makes a lot of bad decisions in their life, or you just know anybody that you care about and you want to help them make better decisions, please share this video with them. You never know what this message could do for someone at the right time. That's what we're all about here on Win with Zach. And share this on your favorite social media platform, Facebook, whatever it is. Share it out. Let's get this message out to more people and impact more lives. And as always, if you want to crush your goals and just dominate your life, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notifications. That way you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching, my winning friend. I'll see you next time.